Hello everyone, this is FallenDice and welcome to episode 24 of Burpcraft Feed the Beast with FallenDice. So, today's plan, steak ended up out of here. Today's plan is to do something that I've been talking about for a while and I'm just tired of not having it. And that is my assembly room. The ME stuff, the Applied Energistics ME stuff uses a ton of gold chipsets, some reds or diamond chipsets. Plus I've been going through quite a bit of the facades and some things like that and some of the decorating. So it's time to set up my assembly room. And I was trying to figure out where to put it. And I want it big. It's going to be kind of silly, and that's what we're going to do today is we're going to build this insane room. In addition, we're also going to build a new power system that powers only this. So it's going to have its own set of redstone energy cells, and it's going to be attached to engines, and when the energy cells are full, it will turn off the engine. So I'm not going to be using any extra power unless I'm actually operating it, and it'll only be enough to refill the energy cells. So it shouldn't add too much to what's already going on here. Now I spent some time in creative, kind of trying to figure out exactly what it was I wanted, how I wanted it, and the biggest I can do size-wise is 10 by 10 by 10 by 10 per layer. So we're talking 40 lasers a layer, and the most that it could be from bottom to top, you know, the height-wise it'll reach is 6 lasers down. I believe it was 6 lasers down. I think I actually lifted it up one for the bottom one. So yeah, 6 layers down, lasers down. And normally, you'd figured it would be, in a room you walk into, but I decided I wanted something a little cooler. I'm putting it on the ceiling. So my plan is, this is the center of this room here, lined up with the center of the door and everything. So for all the OCDers out there, this won't hurt to watch. But down at some point, like around in here, is where the table's going to be. And we're basically going to have this thing all enclosed off, except for the, I guess it'll be more like an 11 by 11, or 12 by 12 little room. You'll see as we build it, with this in the middle. And actually, it's 11 by 11, because each corner, it can only have one shared. So instead of being 11 by 11, it's 10 by 10, and it's how it wraps around. It figures out that we still have the assembly table in the center. And then, so you're going to walk in, and when we're building something, you'll look up, and it's going to be an insane set of lights up there to kind of look at. At least that's the plan. That's my idea. So, first off, I got a ton of items that I'm going to have to make. Because in order to do the lasers as I want them, it's going to take me 280 lasers. And almost 400 redstone cable in just to power all the lasers, not to mention to where it's going to be coming from. But again, it's going to be like a separate room upstairs that I'll have access to, and you won't be able to see it. It's going to be kind of hidden and concealed, and you'll just see the center. But that's the plan. So first off, like I said, we're going to have an 11 by 11 space. I'm kind of doing this right now to sort of get the dimensions of our room set up. And then once I've got that and I can kind of figure out exactly what level everything's going to be on, then we can start kind of pre-staging. Again, what we may end up having to do is, depending on how long it takes me to get all the lasers and things like that, I may do a partial version of this where we might only have 2 or 3 rows of it, and then as time progresses and I get more and more of the requisite materials to complete this, then we can kind of finish it. But I hope I can actually just complete it all. I've got a pretty silly amount of resources right now already. I could always run a quarry if I felt the need to, but we'll see. And who knows, maybe I'll do something kind of, weird with the ceiling and how this fits together. It's going to be kind of a work in progress. I know the dimensions of the room, but how we'll decorate it, that's kind of a different thing. So, anyway, I'm going to play with this a little bit, figure out exactly, like I said, 11 by 11 means that this is the interior. So we're going to go like this. And we'll probably end up taking out that corner block for each one of these, but that should give us our inner room space. And then, like I said, then I'm going to go ahead and go down the 7. And I'd even be more, because I got to make sure I have to have room to run all my cabling as well. So what we'll probably do is we'll probably go 10 down. That way I've got at least 3 blocks to play with on the above it and stuff like that to make sure we get everything kind of routed how we want it to. I really hope this thing turns out, because what I see in my head, my visions that I see in my head is pretty cool. And just seeing it in action, not from underneath, but just seeing it in action with the number of lasers I had set up in creative was pretty cool. So I'm thinking from below it should be quite the scene. Alright, so that's going to be the size of the room, the laser room. And it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And there's that extra space, so one of these is going to have like this one facing this way, which is what cuts it off. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then this one's facing this way. Alright. Alright, so let's say we're talking, I'm going to do the corners, I think, and then we'll come down, so 10 wide. Alright, well, let me get this part here done off camera here, and then I'll come back when I'm kind of ready to not explore, but tweak and play a little to kind of see how this is going to turn out. So anyway, I'll see you guys in a few. Alright, so it's not going to take as long to make those things as I thought it was. In fact, I'm pretty much already done making it. So here's the box. This is what's going to have the house our lasers. And basically, if I were to build this sandstone all the way up the dimensions I have, the lasers are going to go on the outside. So what's actually going to happen is the redstone, is it redstone conduit or, now I'm curious, let's see, redstone energy conduit, and you can see I've already got 350 of those. Didn't take much at all. They're going to be pretty much filling up these squares in here, 7 high, filling that all the way in. And I was thinking, man, that's such a big empty waste of space. Why should I waste it? And then I thought, I don't have to. This is where we're going to put our engines. This is where we're going to put our batteries, our redstone energy cells. It's all going to get housed in here, upstairs like this. So this is going to be a good use of space, so we don't have to do anything else over there having to do with this room. This room is going to be self-contained. So if we do end up needing more power down the road eventually for something, we can add it over there for over there. And this is just going to be for here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in the floor now, because now that we know what's going to be going up here, I'll do that. You can see I've already extended my ME network now. I added interfaces on both ends so that I can actually get full range. Because I did putting it in the center here would have done it, but that would affect my view, my picture. And it has to be, I don't know if I put it all the way down here under the floor, if it would have reached up top where stuff is going through. So I kind of did this. And it's not too bad. And you won't be able to notice it once everything's completed in here. But that is the plan so far. We're moving along, and you can see I've kind of touched up down here a little bit to cover up the torches that were down here. So anyway, let me continue on with this part, and then we're going to make some more magmatic engines, probably a bit more of that redstone energy conduit, and some more redstone energy cells, and we'll start setting up the power over here. The power, and of course also the the wall of redstone energy conduit as well. So anyway, I will see you guys shortly. Alright, so progress made. So I've updated the roof, filled it with a nice little glowstone to give it a cool look, and then I placed the frame of our redstone energy conduit. So this entire face here is going to all be lasers. 10 on each side, 7 high. So 70 on each wall, so for a total of 280 lasers. So that is that part, and let's see, how many lasers do I have right now? How many did I make? I made 128 already, and actually that was just because that's how I told it to. makes them rather quickly. Just needs the amounts of resources, and I think the amount of time it takes to convert my blocks of diamonds into to actual diamonds. Altogether, I think I had about 1,200 diamonds in my system, and to do this, it takes 2 diamonds per laser, so it's taken me about almost half my diamond stockpile. So I don't know exactly how many more than this I need. I think this is what, 128. And I needed, it's 140. So I think I need 24 more. Let's see. We'll go with 24 more. If I need more, I can always make them as we go. Alright, so let's, I'm thinking I probably want to do the top row first, and then I can kind of, fly underneath the top layer and use that to give me the positioning for the other ones. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep, there we go. So that means this next row starts on this one. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then we repeat this over here. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that'll complete our first row. 9, 10. There we go. So now let's see if I fly up underneath these, get all the way to the edge. Is it automatically going to place them? It is. No, it isn't. Dang it. I have to actually point it. Okay. So that one I'll have to fix. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and fill my wall up here off camera. And then when I get this all done, then I will come back and we'll move on to the engine part of this. Alright, and here are our lasers. So you're kind of getting the effect of the room, so I think it's going to be pretty crazy when you walk in here and you see all 240 lasers all firing at one time at a single assembly table here, so that should be pretty cool. Now the plan of how I want to actually control it is a little interesting too. So let's see, this is where we got our ME cable, so let's, and I think I need to make more. I do, darn it. Right now I've only got 4, so let's make another stack of those. I don't know how long it's going to take me. We'll start, we'll ever so slowly continue to, oh, okay, there we go, that's more. Alright, good. Alright, is this the center? Yes, okay. So the, again, I wanted it to have a look. And that look, you know, being symmetrical. So you kind of see with this thing coming down here, we're going to be a little, I'm coming from the top. And I tried to place the interface for this above it, and that didn't work because our assembly table, as we'll pull it out here, if we set this on the ground and we go to place a block above it, it's floating. Okay, so that's the problem I had when I placed the interface on. It was above it, it didn't work. So that left me with the option of either placing it to the side of it, in which case when we walk in here, that one point it would be off to the side. So I mean, if we had it over to the front, you know, that might work, but I didn't like that. So what I decided to do is to put it at the bottom. So let's see, we need to get a small platform built here so we can kind of get this part started. Okay, that works. Whoa. Oh, come on. Maybe I should put it in hover. Alright, so let's see. Let's find our way to the center so we can actually... Yes, there we go. Okay, this is the center. Alright, good. So if I take this all the way up... Good. Okay, gotcha. Alright. So that means that we're going to be placing our interface on this block right here. Let's go back to here. Oh, I must be short on something because I did not get all the cables I requested. Oh, that's not good. I'll have to check that out in a second. ME interface. Let's hopefully that doesn't stop me from crafting this. Good. It did not. Alright, so that goes right there. And then we place our assembly table right here. Now that left me with the option, you know, like I said, I could put the one cable going up the side, but instead, what just ended up looking better was to just put it on all four sides. And then, of course, at the top, they all meet up, and then it goes straight up the center, and it continues to give me that symmetrical look that I want. And I know there's some of you that'll probably be appreciative of that, just because, you know, our ABC, OCD, whatever we want to call it, it is definitely affected by this kind of stuff. So, get ourselves directly over the center, and there we go. Now, actually, what I want to do for this part is actually I'm going to do this part last, because we want to put a facade on this piece coming down. All right, I think I still have some of those left. It's a chiseled facade, but the bottom all looks the same on all these. There we go. So now I can just drop down to here, and there we go. And right now, it's actually connected to the system. And I think it looks kind of cool. I mean, it almost looks like there's a claw that is reaching down and holding this assembly table up in the center of all of our lasers. And once we actually start making stuff with it, I think it's going to look even cooler. And then, of course, I can always, when I need to access it, I can just fly up to here to land on one of these, and then I can still access it from here, put in my recipes and whatnot, or just place a block like over there to stand on. Either way, that works good. So we're done with this part for now. Now we have to get this thing powered. So for now, I'm just going to put a hole in the roof because I haven't figured out how I want to access this room yet. But the plan is to be running some magmatic engines around the outside here, all feeding in to here, but feeding in first into redstone energy cells. And like I said, we're going to have it set up with wireless and some things, something like I've seen what Acatera did over in his area here. But we're going to have it set up so that when all of the batteries that are basically being filled up, all the redstone energy cells being filled up by our magmatic engines are full, they're going to send a signal back that it's going to shut all those engines off. So that means this isn't going to be, you know, producing lag for me all the time. It's not just going to be running all the time. It'll only run when we're making something, and it'll only run long enough to make the item and then refill the system up afterwards. So let me kind of get some planning here on how I want to set this up, and then I will be back shortly. Alright, so here's the setup I have so far. So I have 64, or actually it might be 62, but it's close to magmatic engines. I haven't powered them yet, and they're all feeding in, and this is kind of how I have my new setup upstairs as well. Let me go through and change all these, but they're all feeding in to the same line, and that same line is feeding into all of the redstone energy cells here. And then from there, they're feeding out and into our array of lasers. And then at the end over there, and I'll come back over here, this one here is coming from the output of all of these. So, and then feeding directly into here. So as soon as this thing is full, and it's getting towards there, this gate here is going to sense that it's full of energy, and it's going to give us a red pipe signal. Now if I were to say can store energy, you can see now that it sent that, and that goes all the way around. And the cool part about this is having this on here means that it is now disabled. So it'll basically turn off all the engines, and then as soon as it starts to use any of the energy up inside of here, that redstone signal will disappear. these engines will all start pumping, and they will basically start refilling these batteries. Now, this setup isn't meant to be a huge storage, because I figure 64 engines, you know, at 4 MJ a tick, you're still looking at almost 250 mega Minecraft joules a tick on this, you know, plus all the storage. So I don't think that I should ever have it on long enough to where it's really going to have a detrimental effect. And then in case that it did, I can always come back and add more power storage if I need to. This is just kind of what I actually had in my inventory at the time. So it seemed, you know, decided to go. I'm kind of waiting to see. I think we're at a balancing point from all of these, or actually we're out from all of these. It took all the energy. Wow. Now, is there more on these other ones? I wonder where all that power is going. But anyway, so now all I need to do to start filling this up is to come over to these and turn them on. So we'll go owner, receive only, and we'll go lava tank 1, 2. And then on the other side, we'll send it from the other side. That way it fills it faster. So we'll go lava 1, 3. Or actually no, let's go lava 2 something, so it's taking it from both sides instead of just one. There we go. And now all of our batteries are filling, and there we go. You kind of see that it's still doing a little bit of a balancing system over here. So once this gets all the way full, we should have a... it should turn everything off. Right now it's kind of doing a... Well, it doesn't seem to be making too big of an effect on it yet, so probably just because it's momentary. So I'm going to keep an eye on this, wait till we get all of our redstone energy cells completely filled up, and then once that's done, I will be back. Alright, we are done. I ended up adding in a second setup up there, because the way these have to work for the system is you have to actually have the recipe enabled in the assembly table, which means if something that there's multiple recipes that take redstone, but if you have it enabled to make redstone chipsets, every time you put redstone in, that's going to become part of the queue and interfere if we're just wanting to make certain things. So I have 2 up here, and then I've got 3 more on the ceiling for like the simple stuff. So like if I said I wanted redstone chipset. Let's say we wanted 5. Now if you look up, you can see that it's going towards the ceiling. They're not all interacting with it, but it still goes quick. Now the good ones, the ones that we like, are like this one. So the redstone golden chipset, and this is something that I want to keep a lot on it at all times anyway. That takes the entire... and that just looks so cool. Oh, I love it. That is awesome. And if we come back over here and take a peek, you'll see that we were pretty close to filling up our redstone energy cells. And I think this is definitely going to be more than enough for me, because even now when it's using it, you can see that it's still filling up as opposed to emptying. So this, I could run this as long as I wanted for however long I wanted. And I did move it from over here to here, because it's just something about having it over here with the feeding in. It was actually filling up before the other ones would, and it wouldn't give me an accurate view of how much energy was actually in the system. So now this way, when this one fills up, they should all be filling up, because they're all taking power straight, you know, from the same bank of engines. And if you look over there, you can see those other, the other setups I put in up here. And these are for, like I said, like the little things, like redstone redstone chipset, and this one is like the red pipe wire and the blue pipe wire. And eventually I'm going to get like the gold or the yellow and green, so I can make the diamonds and stuff as well. This is just kind of what I have at the moment. But let's see, we wanted 64, and where are we at right now? We're at 48, 49, 50, 51. It's beautiful. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed this. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.